poured my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and
Well, in my life, period, it'll always be twists and turns like this.
Basketball is supposed to be about buckets, rivalries, and glory. But sometimes, the hardest moments in the NBA have nothing to do with the final score.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Sometimes a grown man in front of millions of people just breaks down.
You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put clothes on our backs, food on the table.
And when that happens, when the toughest athletes in the world can't hold it together anymore,
Isaiah Thomas, his sister was killed in a one-car accident early Saturday morning, according to Washington State.
those moments cut deeper than any game winner ever could.
Kobe and I were very close friends, but we were very close friends.
These are the saddest NBA moments that made players cry. You are not ready for some of these. Kevin Durant, MVP speech. Let's start with one that broke the entire internet, and honestly, still does. May 2014, Oklahoma City. Kevin Durant has just been named the NBA's most valuable player.
Please welcome the 2013-14 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player, Kevin Durant.
Averaging 32 points per game on his way to one of the greatest individual seasons in league history. The crowd is packed, the cameras are rolling, the trophy is gleaming, and KD walks up to the mic and immediately starts losing it. Durant, the nimble 7-foot forward wearing a slim-fit suit, walked toward the podium and opened his speech by saying, "I'm usually good at talking, but I'm a little nervous today. Nobody knew what was coming." He starts thanking teammates, coaches, and the city. He mentions his brother, and then he looks directly at his mother, Wanda Durant, sitting in the front row, and the whole arena goes completely quiet. He looked at her and said, "I don't think you know what you did." Then he started recounting her story. "You had my brother when you were 18 years old. 3 years later, I came out. The odds were stacked against us. Single parent with 2 boys by the time you were 21 years old. And then came the 5 words that stopped the world. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You went to sleep hungry. You sacrificed for us. You are the real MVP."
You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put clothes on our backs, food on the table.
Wanda Durant, sitting in the front row, nodded and smiled to give her son the strength to finish, because at that point, his voice had turned completely wobbly. Durant was in tears throughout the speech, and in that moment, the entire arena understood exactly what kind of man they were watching. The impact, enormous. 10 years later, those words still ripple in and beyond the league. The speech is remembered as one of the most heartfelt in sports history. 2 years after the speech, Lifetime even aired The Real MVP, The Wanda Durant Story, produced by Queen Latifah, a basketball MVP speech turned into a movie. Think about that. Still gives people chills over a decade later. Joel Embiid, Kawhi buzzer beater game, 7. Now here is where things get genuinely cruel, because some crying moments are about love and gratitude. And then there are moments like what happened to Joel Embiid in May 2019. Moments that feel like the universe just decided to be completely heartless. The Philadelphia 76ers against the Toronto Raptors. Eastern Conference semifinals, Game 7. On the road, Philadelphia ties it with 4.2 seconds left. The entire city is holding its breath. And then Kawhi Leonard catches the ball on the right wing, goes up over Embiid's outstretched arms, and releases a shot that hits the rim once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and drops in. The building explodes.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
And Embiid, who had played through knee tendonitis, gastroenteritis, and an upper respiratory infection, just crumbles. He walked off the court in tears after the 92-90 Game 7 loss, having stretched every inch of his massive wingspan to contest Leonard's buzzer-beating shot, the first of its kind to win a Game 7 in NBA history. He was still emotional, walking through the tunnel where he met his girlfriend. After they embraced, he returned to the locker room and looked up to the sky, as if searching for answers. In the post-game press conference, asked where the process stands now, Embiid just said, "I don't give a damn about the process." That right there tells you everything. This wasn't about a slogan anymore. This was about a man who gave absolutely everything and still watched it bounce away on the most heartbreaking shot in recent playoff memory. "I give Toronto credit for a tenacious, switching defense," Coach Brett Brown said afterward. But nothing he could say was going to make that any easier. Yeah, tell that to Embiid's tears. Talk about gutted. Isaiah Thomas, playing through the death of his sister. But as painful as a playoff loss is, nothing even comes close to what Isaiah Thomas went through in the spring of 2017, because this one is not about basketball at all. This one is about a brother losing his sister. On April 15, 2017, China Thomas was killed in a car accident in Washington State.
Isaiah Thomas, his sister was killed in a one-car accident early Saturday morning, according to Washington State.
Isaiah learned of the tragic news shortly after that day's practice. She was 22 years old, and the next day, was Game 1 of the Boston Celtics' first-round playoff series against the Chicago Bulls. What would you do? Most people would not show up. Isaiah Thomas showed up. One day after losing his sister in a tragic car crash, Thomas chose to suit up. He was clearly and very understandably devastated, openly weeping during pre-game warm-ups. He wore sneakers that read, "China, R.I.P. Lil Sis, and I love you." Gerald Green said before the game, blinking back his own tears, "The fact that he's here shows what kind of man he is." And then Thomas went out there and scored 33 points.
Isaiah Thomas.
33 on his sister's memory. But here is where the story gets even more staggering. The Celtics eventually won that first-round series against Chicago, and then, in the second round against Washington, on what would have been China's 23rd birthday, Thomas torched the Wizards for 53 points in a 129-119 overtime win. He had lost a tooth after taking an elbow to the mouth in Game 1 and underwent 13 hours of dental surgery between games. Still, he put up 53. Later, Isaiah reflected on those months, saying, "My teammates didn't know how to interact or act around me. The energy of what we built the last 2 years kinda got thrown out the window just because I was going through a real-life situation. Physically, I was there. Mentally, I was back at home." And the cruelest ending to this story? The Celtics traded him away that offseason. After everything he did for that city, through all of that grief, unbelievable. Derrick Rose, trade from Chicago. Speaking of being traded, few moments in NBA history capture pure heartbreak on camera, quite like the day Derrick Rose found out his hometown Chicago Bulls were done with him. Picture this. Summer of 2016, Rose is sitting down for an interview for his documentary, Who, the Derrick Rose Story. He's talking about how happy he is to be in Chicago, how he never wanted to leave, how he's just focused on winning. Rose is saying, "You do hear about trade rumors here and there, and this last one, the Knicks one, was pretty big because it caught a lot of people's attention. I'm good with being in Chicago. We're trying to win and get back on the right track." The cameras are still rolling. Then his phone rings. It's his agent, BJ Armstrong, calling from New York. Rose reacts with disbelief, then walks outside in tears while his agent explains everything that is about to happen. His immediate reaction was shock. He tried to leave the house and escape the cameras, but they followed him outside where he was visibly choked up and emotional.
In my life, period, it'll always be twists and turns like this.
After his call, he sat back down and continued the interview, fighting through tears. This is a man who grew up on Chicago's South Side, who was the #1 overall pick, who at just 22 years old became the youngest MVP in NBA history, who gave everything to that city, including his knees, and then got the phone call that told him it was over in a matter of seconds. Years later, Rose explained why that moment hit so hard, saying, "That's my life. Chicago, everything was there." And then he got more specific. "The first thing I thought of was my family and my son. I love the moments with my son when I'm actually warming up and he's on the court on the side going crazy, or he's passing me the ball. Those are the moments I cherish because I know that growing up, he's gonna cherish them also." He was not just losing a team. He was losing a life he had built in the only city he ever called home, and the cameras caught every second of it. Karl Anthony Towns, losing his mother to COVID-19. Some stories hit different because of the scale of the loss, and what Karl Anthony Towns went through during the COVID-19 pandemic is genuinely one of the most devastating things any NBA player has ever publicly endured. In March 2020, as the pandemic began shutting down the world, Towns revealed that both of his parents had tested positive for COVID-19. His father eventually recovered. His mother, Jacqueline Cruz Towns, did not.
Karl Anthony Towns' life that he has had to go through without his mother around.
Towns later appeared in an emotional video explaining that he had to be the one to pull the plug on his mother, who died on April 13th. "At that moment, I pulled the plug and just let her pass," Towns said. "They told me she may be alive another hour, maybe 2. He explained that family members were talking with his mom remotely, laughing and sharing stories when she died. "She was sent off with laughter," a tearful Towns said, but it did not stop there. In addition to his mom, Towns said he had 6 other family members die from COVID-19. 7 people, 1 pandemic, 1 family. "That day changed me as a man," Towns said. "I'm never going to get that innocent young boy back. That's gone. Ever since that day, I feel like the world just made me a little colder. And then, in a moment that shattered every award conversation, Towns said something that no MVP trophy could ever answer. I don't miss anything else. I don't miss the awards, the accolades, that all don't mean anything. I only care about my mom. She is what made all those memories great. It was her at the draft day going crazy, and that made it fun. It was her when I graduated that made it special. It was because of her that my birthdays were special. Nothing in basketball prepares a man for that. Nothing. LeBron James, multiple crying moments. Now, if we're being honest, no player in NBA history has had more iconic, documented, flat-out viral crying moments than LeBron James. The man has cried after winning. He has cried after losing. He has cried in locker rooms, on live television, on the court floor, and in front of 20,000 people. And every single time, it meant something real.
And the emotions for LeBron James, who delivers on his promise to come home and bring a championship.
The most famous? June 19, 2016, Game 7 of the NBA Finals against Golden State. The Cleveland Cavaliers, down 3-1, have just done the impossible. LeBron was carrying 52 years of Cleveland futility on his shoulders going into that game. Seconds after the final whistle, he was mobbed by teammates before collapsing onto the court, where a combination of relief and joy manifested into tears streaming down his cheeks. During the on-court interview, LeBron, barely able to speak, said through tears, "I set out a goal 2 years ago when I came back to bring a championship to this city. I gave everything that I have. I put my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game." And then there is the more recent one, January 28, 2026. LeBron at 41 years old, playing what might be his final game ever in Cleveland. The Cavaliers, knowing what this night could mean, put together an emotional video tribute on the Jumbotron. James broke down in tears during the first quarter video tribute that the Cavs played for him, showing highlights of him scoring 25 consecutive points in Game 5 of the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals against the Detroit Pistons. He wiped his eyes with a towel after the video played. "I'm just trying to take everything in, not take the moments for granted," James told the media after the game, "because it could be my last season. I obviously haven't made a decision on the future, but it very well could be." Even Bronny James said he was almost emotional himself. Father and son, 2 generations, one night in Cleveland that nobody who was there will ever forget. What a legacy. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant Memorial. And then there is the moment that broke the entire planet. February 24th, 2020, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. 20,000 people in attendance, dressed in purple and gold, gathered to say goodbye to Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, who were killed in a helicopter crash on January 26th.
The new report on the crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna.
The greatest basketball player who ever lived, Michael Jordan, is about to walk to the microphone. He was emotional and crying before he even began to speak. Jordan said to the thousands in attendance, "Kobe was my dear friend. He was like a little brother." He spoke about how Bryant would reach out to him at all hours of the night to talk about post-up moves or footwork, saying that at first it was an aggravation, but that he recognized the passion Bryant had for the game. Jordan said, "As I got to know him, I wanted to be the best big brother that I could be." And then, mid-speech, tears streaming down his face, the greatest player to ever play the game made a joke about himself, because that's what Kobe would have wanted. "I told my wife I wasn't going to do this because I didn't want to see that for the next 3 or 4 years. That is what Kobe Bryant does to me." The 20,000 mourners at Staples Center burst into laughter. And then Jordan pulled himself together one last time and delivered the line that defined that entire memorial. "When Kobe Bryant died, a piece of me died. And as I look in this arena and across the globe, a piece of you died, or else you wouldn't be here." Those are the memories that we have to live with and we learn from. I promise you, from this day forward, I will live with the memories of knowing that I had a little brother that I tried to help in every way I could. Here is the man who never showed weakness. 6 championships, 5 MVPs, the GOAT, crying in front of the entire world and not even trying to hide it, because some losses are bigger than basketball. Kobe's death was one of them. Michael Jordan, Hall of Fame speech, 2009. But here is where the Michael Jordan crying story gets layered, because the Kobe Memorial was not MJ's first legendary cry. Let's rewind to September 11th, 2009, Springfield, Massachusetts, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Michael Jordan is being enshrined as the greatest to ever do it. 6 rings, 10 scoring titles, 2 Olympic golds. The man had literally nothing left to prove. And yet, after sitting through an 8-minute video of highlights and testimonials to his career, Jordan approached the podium with tears streaming down his face. The tears came even before he reached the microphone. Now, here is the twist that makes this story uniquely Jordan. Because instead of a gracious, sentimental speech, he proceeded to spend the next 23 minutes settling every score he had ever had with every person who ever doubted him. He called out his old high school coach. He called out former rivals. He even flew the guy who made the varsity team ahead of him in high school all the way to Springfield.
I wanted to prove not just to Leroy Smith, not just to myself, but to the coach who actually picked Leroy over me.
As a reminder of the adversity he had faced, the reaction was divisive. One reporter called it not a Hall of Fame induction speech, but a bully tripping nerds with lunch trays in the school cafeteria. But out of all of it came something unintentional and everlasting. During one of his emotional moments, Associated Press photographer Stefan Savoya snapped a shot that would eventually become one of the most iconic memes ever. In April 2012, the image of a teary-eyed Jordan was submitted to a meme generator with the caption, "Why did I buy the Bobcats?" And the crying Jordan meme was born. Over the next few years, the image exploded into a pop culture phenomenon of its own. There is even a dedicated Crying Jordan Twitter page. President Barack Obama even referenced it when awarding Jordan the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016. And then Jordan referenced it himself at Kobe's memorial in 2020. The man cried himself into immortality twice. Convenient, right? LeBron James, the night after Kobe. You know what? Let us close the LeBron chapter properly because the man deserves it. Because beyond the 2016 Finals meltdown and the 2026 tribute game, there was another moment, one that stopped an entire city cold. January 26, 2020. The night after Kobe Bryant was killed, the Lakers had a home game. LeBron addressed the Staples Center crowd directly, fighting back tears, saying in the words of Kobe Bryant, "Mamba out."
So in the words of Kobe Bryant, Mamba out. But in the words of us, not forgotten.
The arena was silent. People were weeping in the stands. LeBron himself could barely hold it together, and yet he always holds it together just enough to say something that matters. That is what makes him different from almost every athlete alive. He cries, but he speaks through the tears. He loses himself, but he pulls himself back to deliver a message. From the 2016 Finals floor to the 2026 Cleveland Jumbotron, LeBron has said he is just trying to take every moment in because it very well could be the last time. And he means it. Every single tear has been earned. Unforgettable breakdowns from some of the greatest players the NBA has ever seen. Which one hits you the hardest? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and before you leave, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Hoops Rivals so you don't miss the next ones.